whole class is specific at Māori students. The majority were writing well below the national expectations and curriculum levels. We looked at our ASTL results for the start of the term. I found that in my class the biggest gap was in planning and the children actually knowing how to sequence a story. I needed to find a tool that would take away the barriers for them that they had, but would give them the support that they needed. Having them make a digital story about an experience that they'd had at school or that we had had together, it formed a language base for oral language with the children because we could talk about it. The children could speak to each other in Samoan and Tongan and talk about the pictures and talk about each other because they owned the experience. So a way to remove that barrier for the children is to take photographs of their language experiences, put them in folders for beginning, middle and end like this, and the children have to select the photo that they want to say that this is the beginning of my story. Here the students were the photographers. We've talked then as a class about what's a good photograph, what's not such a good photograph. They own the photos because they took them. Then they simply cut and paste and drop it into their story. Yeah, the kids give each other feedback. They'll say, oh, that doesn't sound right. This part here doesn't make sense. And so they can isolate what they want to edit. So we've tried to link the reading and the writing cues. This part made sense, or you said. So when the children are doing it, you can hear the communication and it's linked. It's the flow over into reading, which is really good. The most successful changes I have seen through doing digital stories and turning them into audiobooks is that the children have created instead of consumed. The children have access to things that are in their first language. They know that their first languages and themselves are valued and celebrated. They use these every day within the literacy rotation in the classroom. The main improvements for me have been from the teacher when you sit down and you triangulate the data was I started with writing books that showed little to no planning for the majority of the class and no editing, nothing, and ASTL writing that was pretty much all R1. And now having just moderated this term's ASTL for the end of year's ASTL samples in 2 terms, those children have made a year's progress, which is absolutely brilliant. The biggest success for me is seeing the children's independence, and I think that is the key to it. The children are independent learners.